Aid group The World Central Kitchen said it was suspending activities after 7 of its aid workers were killed Monday evening while trying to bring aid into the north of Gaza. Now, 6 of these aid workers were foreigners. They were 3 British nationals, an Australian, a Polish national, a dual American-Canadian citizen, as well as a Palestinian. This was the second time that the aid group had brought assistance from Cyprus by sea into Gaza, trying to find an alternative route to bring much-needed aid into the Strip. The World Central Kitchen said that they were traveling in a 3-car convoy, including 2 armored cars, and that while they had discussed this with Israel's military, they had coordinated this, the convoy was still struck. There has been international outrage since the incident. Let's listen to what the World Health Organization had to say.
This was an agreed mission with this team. It was deconflicted. Deconflicted means both sides know they're coming, both sides have agreed. The car was well marked. It was very clear it was World Central Kitchen.
Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said he acknowledged the attack and said it hit unintended innocent civilians and that Israel was going to do everything it could to ensure that this was not going to happen again.
Unfortunately, in the last day, there was a tragic case of our forces unintentionally hitting innocent people in the Gaza Strip. This happens in wartime. We are thoroughly looking into it and are in contact with the governments of the foreigners among the dead, and will do everything to ensure it doesn't happen again.
But the United Nations said this was not an isolated incident. Since the beginning of the war, it said that at least 200 aid workers have been killed inside of Gaza, 3 times the number in any one conflict in a year. Netanyahu is also facing pressure at home. This was the 3rd day of protests in Jerusalem, part of the largest anti-government demonstrations since the war began. People are calling for him to resign. They're also calling for him to create a hostage deal to get the at least 100 hostages out of Gaza. On Tuesday, families of the women hostages, including 2 of the freed women who were held hostage, they gave emotional talks in front of Parliament. They particularly said they were worried about the women still being held, that they were facing sexual assault. And this is because they said that the women who have come out have given testimonies that they have been assaulted. Netanyahu is also facing pressure from the ultra-Orthodox, who on Monday blocked a central highway and also held a human chain during rush hour. This came after the Supreme Court banned subsidies for the ultra-Orthodox who were not going into the army. But Netanyahu relies on this coalition. If he loses their support, he could be forced to have early elections, and he is not doing very well in the polls. Sam Mednick with the Associated Press for CGTN in Jerusalem.